Hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. We have another courtroom family feud on our hands, and this one is absolutely wild. This Karen isn't just fighting with one person. She seems to be fighting with practically everyone around her, including members of her own family. As the hearing unfolds, you'll see accusations fly, excuses pile up, and more than a few questionable decisions come to light. Let's jump right in.
All right, so everybody's here in the right place. What I have is one plaintiff and three different defendants on three different small claims cases, although they seem to generally be about the same incident. So I would just call them together. It's file 24-0148586 and 24-01600. All parties are here today for a small claims case. What small claims means is that you are not asking for this to be decided by a jury, but be decided right here in front of me. You also can only ask for so much money. I think these were all $5,000 suits. You also cannot use attorneys. Everybody is here trying to get this done without attorneys. And so first thing I have to determine is if everybody is ready, willing, and able to proceed in that fashion in front of me. If anybody wishes to move this to general civil in front of the district court judges, they can ask for that. That would generally be granted. But if everyone is able to, Ms. Rodriguez, are you able to turn your camera on? If everyone else is ready to proceed here in front of me, first thing I'm going to do is swear everybody in. So I need everybody to raise their right hands. Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir. I'm raising my hand.
Okay, I need you to turn your camera on.
That I'm not sure exactly how to do on this phone.
Everybody swear or affirm any testimony they give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So here is the thing. I do have some information about this. This is mostly feels like a landlord-tenant situation to me. I am going to ask Ms. Rodriguez. I'm looking at the affidavit here against Ms. Lodge, and I just can't read it. I said, could you just tell me what that says? I bought the boat.
Oh, for Miss for Janie. Yes, sir. I had bought this pontoon boat right before 4th of July, so me and my kids could go out on and have fun on. I had put it in my mom's name. I don't know why she's holding it over my head. She wants me to move out, sir. I'm trying my hardest to get my own home. I'm trying my hardest to move out. If she wants to keep it, she can keep it, but she can pay me the money then. I mean,
why are you suing Miss Lodgton for $5,000? Tell me that.
That's what the boat costed, and I wasn't able to ride on it all this time. I'm not able to use it.
All right, I mean, just stop. Let me ask. Whose boat did this belong to?
Me, sir.
So you bought the boat from who?
I bought the boat from a guy in Grand Haven. I bought it from him back in June, at the end of June. I had it put in my mom's name. I got proof of all that. I got proof
the boat.
Because she won't give it back to me, sir. I have asked her for my bike and my boat back, and she won't give them back to me. I don't understand, sir. That you're right. I'm not understanding.
How can she give you a boat?
What do you mean? How can she give me a boat? It's the money. What are you talking about?
Why would she owe you the money?
It's my boat, sir.
Okay, so you own a boat. What does that have to do with your mother?
She won't give me the paperwork, sir. I'm not understanding. That's why I'm here in court for my bike. Well, my bike's next September 5th. She has my bike in her name too. I'm trying. I asked her.
Why are they in her name?
Because I am in Social Security, sir. And I asked my mother to put it in her name, and she told me she wouldn't do this to me, and now she's doing it to me.
Wow, that's not exactly the kind of statement you'd want to make in open court. There are legitimate reasons for placing assets in someone else's name, but if the goal is to avoid government restrictions or financial obligations, you're entering some very dangerous legal territory. The last place you want to casually discuss that is while a court record is being created.
Okay,
So this
so
is
your
where I'm
mother
at.
owns the boat. You don't own the boat. So why are you suing her?
Because I paid for it and I can prove that, sir. That's why I'm telling you. Like, I did the same thing with my brother too, and I had to take him to, with Scotchless and do the whole trial because I can prove everything. I bought the boat. I could prove it, everything. I bought my bike. I bought it all. She just won't sign off of it, sir. She won't give it back to me. I don't know what else.
Man, that's specific performance. You cannot sue in small claims for specific performance. Essentially, what you want is her to sign the title over to you so that you own the boat.
Or she could pay me my money that I paid it for. I got proof of all that, sir. Like, I don't understand.
Well, ma'am, that's only if she wants to buy the boat from you. If she doesn't want to buy the boat from you, then what you're asking for is specific performance, i.e. for her to sign title over to you. I can't order that in small claims. You could get that ordered in general civil. Let me just explain to you the difference. Well, I want you to understand the difference so you understand. Small claims is when you're out of pocket for a dollar amount, right? I.e., I loaned money to my mom, she's supposed to pay me back, she didn't pay me back. The specific performance is give me the money. I can do that in small claims. But say your mom had sold you a house and won't sign the deed of the house over to you. You're not asking for money, you're asking for the deed to the house. What I can't do in small claims is what's called specific performance. In other words, make someone do an action other than pay money. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I can't make your mother sign
like you did my brother
over to you. Exactly. A district court judge can in general civil, but in small claims, we can't do that.
Well,
all right.
Well, sir, you just made, a couple of weeks ago, you made my brother sign my title off to me for my motorcycle.
That's what I said.
He bring it over here.
He doesn't want to pay the money.
Oh yeah, so this is the same case then. If she don't want to pay me the money, she can sign off the title.
No. But here's what I don't understand, ma'am. Possession of the boat, right, is 9/10 of the law. So you're saying the boat's at whose house?
It's at our home, at me and my mom's home. I live here with her.
Okay, then she didn't take the boat from you. It's your boat. You can move it and use it however you want. I don't understand what you're suing.
It's in her name, though, and because because if I move it, sir, you don't understand. She will put me in jail for stealing the boat. You're not understanding. It's in her name. I paid for it. I'm just asking if she would just sign off of the title and give it back to me. She wants me to move out. She wants me to do this. I'm trying to, sir. I'm trying to do everything possible, and I'm doing everything legally. That's why I've gotten hold of the governor about other situations, about the situations coming in.
Let me talk to Mom for a second. So, Mom, do you agree that the boat actually belongs to Angela and not to you in terms of who paid for it?
Yes, sir. I asked her to, she bought the boat.
So why did you put it in your name?
Because she wanted me to.
All right. So why don't you want to unput it in your name?
Because I asked her to move out and she can have it. And she won't move out.
All right. So essentially what you're saying is you're using it as leverage.
No, I don't want her to do anything with it and blame me for it.
You know, that's actually one excuse I can believe. Situations like this happen more often than people realize. I once sold a vehicle, signed everything over properly, and the buyer never transferred the title. After they wrecked the car and abandoned it, guess who ended up dealing with the headaches? Sometimes paperwork that seems minor can turn into a major problem later.
Okay, ma'am, I can't give you legal advice, but if it's not your boat, i.e., you guys are family, and one of you asked the other one to sign title over to them. So you can't turn around and sort of sue each other to make us switch title. She shouldn't have asked you to sign for the title in the first place. But you understand it's her boat, right?
Yep. But
okay.
Sir, I didn't really do this, but
Miss Lodge,
I didn't really want to do this.
So what is it you wish to say? Are you telling me if she moved out of your house, then you'd sign title over to her?
She can have the boat. I
Okay,
already
that's
told her
not what
she
I
could.
asked. Ma'am, that's not what I asked. She could have the boat right now. It's her boat.
Yeah.
She could take it and go use it. But you understand the title's in your name. She wants you to put the title in her name.
No, she didn't want the title in her name when we bought it because of the
Okay,
Social
that's in the
Security.
past. Now what she's saying is she'd like the title in her name, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you won't do that?
No, she can have it. I told her she can have it. It just, I'm scared that if I give her that title, she won't go and put it in her name. She'll leave it in mine. So how am I gonna know that it's out of my name?
Oh, ma'am, no. Right on the title, you can sign the title and say, Jamie Lodgson signs title over to Angela Rodriguez on this date. And then that's her problem, not yours.
Because I don't want nothing to happen and then she gets me in trouble.
All right, I
know
understand
Angie
that.
too well.
But I just want to be clear, you're not trying to keep the boat for you, right?
No.
All right. Well, instead of getting sued for $5,000, all you have to do on that piece of paper is sign it over to her. And then it's her problem. Just like you said, it's not yours anymore.
Yeah, but Your Honor, when we went to Grand Haven to get it, coming back, she told me to call my sister and let my sister hear what she said.
Listen to me. The fact that she asked you to put it in your name instead of hers is exactly why I'm not going to let her sue you for $5,000. But what I'm explaining to you is, here's the problem. It really is her boat, not yours. Yeah, but right now, you have your name on the title. You need to change that.
Yeah.
You understand?
But I'm telling you what she told my sister. She had me call my sister and told my sister, look what I bought my mom.
Okay, but I want to be very clear. You don't think this boat is a gift to you. It's not your boat, right? You agree with that?
I agree with that, but that's what she told us.
And I understand this. A family really shouldn't be suing each other over signing over title of the boat. I'm not going to award any money damages in this matter. But what I'm telling you is, even if she asked you to put it in your name, it's her boat and she's asking you to now take it out of your name and put it in her name. I understand your concerns that you don't want her to, go take the boat, it gets in a wreck, and then they look up who owns the boat and you get in trouble. That's why you write on the title, you can sign that over to her.
Okay, and put down that I gave it to Angela Rodriguez on the title there? Okay.
I can see both sides here. The judge is focused on the legal documents, which is exactly what courts are supposed to do. But I also understand why the mother is worried. When disputes escalate and money becomes involved, suddenly nobody remembers who signed what or where important paperwork ended up.
Now listen to me. What other matters do you two have? Are you having a landlord
the bike
case right now?
The landlord and the bike?
No, I only have a bike.
Okay,
the bike is the same situation, sir.
How are you doing an eviction?
Sorry about that.
Through landlord-tenant court or not?
We did.
Ms. Logston.
I did the eviction notice for the 7 days. And then
through landlord-tenant court.
Yeah, and then I went.
All right. You should also address this. You should also address this boat title in landlord-tenant court because it is possessions of the tenant that you're trying to, you don't want because they're hers, right?
Yep.
All right.
And the bike too. I mean, my son put the bike back in my name. And he's got to pay for it. And now who gets the bike? So I've got to wait for that court date too.
Well, it's going to be the same thing.
That was only with money, sir.
It's going to be the same thing. You can't just sue your family members because you asked them to put things in their name and titles. That's not a small claims case I'm going to entertain. All right. But what I'm telling you about the boat is Ms. Rodriguez has an issue here because that boat belongs to her and you need to get it out of your name. Yep. Unless you want to say the boat's yours, and then we could have an argument about that. But it doesn't seem like you even want the boat, right?
I don't want the boat, but I'm just trying to tell you what she said to my sister. She told my sister called my sister and told my sister, look what I bought my mom.
All right. And that would be an issue if you were trying to say, okay, it's my boat because she gave it to me. But you're not trying to say that, so we don't even have to go down that road, right?
No.
All right.
No, she
I'm going to
can have the
dismiss this lawsuit, but it's because you're telling me you understand that you need to sign that title over.
Yeah.
All right. You're all set then. I'm going to go ahead and release you.
Mr.
Ms.
Norbeck?
Lawson. I thought this was over the same tenant issue with the other
No,
two that are
no.
here, Dornkamp and Villarreal.
No,
Yes,
she got
Ms.
3 of them going.
What she was talking about was I have another case coming up on I believe this September 5th, stating that with the Yamaha bike is the same situation, sir, that I'm going through.
Yes, and I'm telling you right now,
Like,
if
she's
you're
holding my
asking
title.
family members to put the title in their name, you're not going to turn around and sue them for money. They just need to sign it back over to you. It's not really a lawsuit.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, that's
But
what I
they
asked
need
her
to
to do. I've been
understand that,
asking,
and
I've been text messaging too.
I've been explaining that to your mom right now, that both of these lawsuits would go away if she just signed those titles back over to you.
I can't sign the V-Star
I
title
appreciate that.
because
What's
my
that?
son, I can't sign the V-Star title because my son went to court over it. He's got to pay Angie over it. And now who gets the bike if he's got to pay for it?
I went to court, Norbeck, with Scotchless. It was the money I borrowed my brother. I borrowed my brother $5,300.
At this point, the communication breakdown might be causing as many problems as the actual legal dispute. Everyone is talking, but nobody seems to be listening. If the parties had spent half as much effort trying to understand each other as they spent arguing, they might not be in court today.
It wasn't about the collateral
Yeah,
stuff.
if you have a money
that was-
judgment, then that bike is his and he owes you money. Right?
No, the bike's mine. No, the bike is mine. Scotchless already said this. He already overruled it. The bike is mine. He had to pay me the money because he borrowed money. I didn't buy it for him. He borrowed the money from me.
I understand
So
that.
that's why
How did you get the bike and the money?
The bike came back to me, and I asked my mom because it was my bike because I paid for him to get the Harley, and that bike's supposed to be mine, and that's what happened. And I asked my mom to put it in her name, and this is what's happening again.
No,
Oh, but you mean
The
you didn't
same
get the Harley that
situation,
you were
I-
giving money to your brother to pay. You got the Yamaha.
Yes, I got the Yamaha. I bought the
All right.
Harley. We went through trial with Scotchless on that. It was $5,300 that he borrowed, and he has to pay me $4,800 back because he borrowed money.
And whose name is on the title for the Yamaha?
mine now.
My mom's, because I asked her to put it in her name because of Social Security reasons and for me to get it cheaper for insurance and stuff.
Yeah, ma'am. That's your problem. You're asking them to put things in your name and then they do it and then you turn around and sue them for it.
I know. Yeah, I know, because they're not doing this for me. They told me they weren't going to do this to me.
All right. So, Miss Lodgton, I mean, we can wait and deal with the bike on the date in September if you want, but it's going to be the same issue. It's not your motorcycle. It belongs to Angela. You need to get your name off the title because Angela will sue you over it. All right?
But the thing of it is she sued my son over it. He's got to
No,
pay
ma'am.
for both bikes.
No,
And
ma'am.
then,
That's not what that lawsuit was about. That lawsuit was about money she lent your son to buy a different motorcycle, a Harley Davidson.
he bought both of them. She bought
know.
both of them, and
All right.
And he's
Ma'am,
gotta
I'm not
pay her
going to get
back.
into this with you. We can come back and argue it in September. I'm going to release you because you're not really part of the case that I still have to deal with today. So you're all set. Ms. Logston, you can
Thank
make
you.
a lot of your own problems going away with a few signatures. All right.
Yep.
All right, so back to the issue at hand. Here's the thing. Miss Villarreal and Mr. Varnkamp. Essentially what's happening here is Miss Rodriguez is suing you because she's saying that during, I guess, a landlord-tenant situation, she had a bunch of belongings that were put outside of the rental unit. So here's my question. Which one of you owns this place?
I do.
All right. What is Mr. Varnkamp's relationship to the property?
When I went there, he was already there. I asked him who he was. He said, Angela, told her to take everything out because she was moving.
Okay, ma'am, we're just going a little fast. Did you know Mr. Varnkamp?
No, I didn't even know
Oh, so
him.
he's not like a property manager. He doesn't work for you. He's just a guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start with you, Miss Villarreal. What Miss Rodriguez is saying is she was a tenant and that you had a bunch of her stuff moved out of the apartment.
No, I didn't. I swear to God, he was already there when everything was already out.
Are you saying that Mr. Vornkamp was replacing Miss Rodriguez as the tenant?
That's
Yes,
what me and
that's
Mrs.
what he was
Rodriguez
doing,
talked
trying.
about.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Was that, Miss Villarreal, was that actually a landlord-tenant agreement you had with Miss Rodriguez? She was living there and paying you rent?
We talked about it.
Okay, I couldn't hear you.
Was it an actual landlord-tenant situation? She was living there and paying you rent?
She hasn't paid rent for 4 months. I kept telling her I wanted her out because all she's causing me
Did
is...
you actually evict her?
Yes, I did. I have all the paperwork. And
No.
she was supposed
Did you
to be...
evict her through landlord-tenant court?
Yes. She was supposed
When
to be
did you
out
get that?
Tuesday at 4:30 and she's still there. So I
Right.
called a guy
Ma'am?
named Joel.
Ma'am, listen to me. When did you evict her? What is the date on your judgment?
The 30th of August.
Of this
Wait.
year?
Sorry, July. The 30th of July.
All right, but here's the problem. Her stuff got moved out before then, ma'am.
Yes, but I didn't do it. I did not do it.
Okay.
When I got there, they were already there.
All right. Okay, so let me switch gears. So Mr. Vornkamp,
Mr. Norbeck?
well, Miss Rodriguez, let me talk to that.
Hold on,
Mr. Vornkamp, you're someone
Oh,
who wanted to move in there? Is that how you got?
Yes, at sometime in mid-April, I stopped over by Mrs. Rodriguez's house and she said that she had money that she was gonna move out and buy a house and stuff. And I asked her if she would talk to Mary, the landlord, about me taking over the house.
All right, so you were going to move in and start paying rent yourself to live there instead of Miss Rodriguez?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
we call that a sublease. And when were you gonna do that?
It was gonna be in May. I think it was May 5th. May 3rd, me and Angela talked about it over there. She said that she talked to Mary and everything was a go.
That was
All
a
right.
lie.
So you, okay.
Thank
so
you.
Well, Mrs. Villarreal, I'll get to you. So in other words, what you said is, you're talking to Miss Rodriguez and you say, hey, she says she's gonna move out, I can move in, and then she told you she talked to the landlady and it was all green light.
Right. And then come
All
to
right.
find out, Miss
Well,
Rodriguez
no,
did not talk to
I
the
don't want you to
landlord.
jump ahead. I don't
Okay.
want you to jump ahead.
All
So there's a bunch of stuff in the apartment that doesn't belong to you, right? It's from probably Miss Rodriguez or whoever was living there.
There was not really nothing there.
Are you?
Okay.
There was some clothing items and a bunch of dirty dishes and some old food and stuff, which I did bag up. And another girl named Angela put them in her car and she brought them to Angela.
Don't, I got pictures. I got pictures.
Who set that up? Do you know?
No, I don't know who set that up for her to bring her stuff. I think them two did.
And the other Angela said, oh, what, that's my friend or something?
Right. That they were friends for, yes. And she brought him
my
the stuff there. I think it was her. I'm not sure what.
And then did you move in after that?
No.
Okay. What was the day that you're talking about things were bagged up? You bagged them up, put them in some girl's car?
I have no idea when they did that. Because after Miss Rodriguez told me not to go back there, and I never went back there, so I have no idea what happened when she brought them to her at all.
Oh, so you didn't end up moving in there?
No.
All right. All right, Miss Rodriguez, it's your turn. I want you to explain to me, well, first of all, why is it you're suing Miss Villarreal?
Okay. First, I was going to try to tell you, sir. I got this letter yesterday from the Allegan County Sheriff's Office. I had went and I did everything I can do. I went and talked to Dana Nessel. I went and talked to the governor. I got emails from him. I got all the text messages from me and Dave. I never one time told him to go inside my house to take all my stuff out. He was not going to move in. I did ask him to fix my roof because it was leaking. Mary knew that too. I've been asking Mary to.
Okay, Miss Rodriguez, you're kind of all over the place, so I'm just going to go small, short question and answer session. So you were living there, and then you decided at some point in time you were going to move out.
No, sir, I couldn't even move out. I wasn't even allowed to be there because I had no contact order against me and my son at the moment because my son put me in jail. This is the reason why.
When your mother wants you out, your son wants you arrested, and you're involved in multiple legal disputes at the same time, eventually you have to take a hard look at the situation. It may not mean you're responsible for everything, but it's worth asking whether some of these problems have a common source.
I have all the text messages. I didn't know if I could have turned them in here or not, but my son is 22. Well, he's 23 now. He just turned 23.
So you were living at that place with you and your son?
Yes, sir, I was. And then March 23rd, he put me in jail, so I had no contact.
Ma'am,
yes.
You're doing it. You're just running ahead. So I'm just I just really need to nail down some things. So you were living with your adult son. Who was on the lease?
There's nobody on the lease, sir. There is no lease. There is no lease, sir. We just renting it up as a verbal thing.
All right,
with the landlady. I've been there for about 4.5 years.
All right. Here's the problem, though. So you can't go back there because you have a no contact order.
Oh, I can now, sir, because it's dismissed.
Ma'am,
but what I'm trying to get to you is I got this paper.
During this time where you're saying you're getting kicked out, really what it was is you weren't able to live there anyway because of a court order. Right, that's the only reason. But my two other kids were there. So
my
what
son
happened
was there.
to all your
was
stuff
there.
that was there?
Well, I was having Mr. Vornerkamp going to fix the leak on the roof outside because it was leaking. I've been taking it off of the.
Ma'am, that's not my question. My question is this. You were living with your adult son, and then the cop said you can't live there anymore. So where did you go? Where were you sleeping at night?
He didn't say I couldn't live there. I was sleeping at my mom's house because I was on probation.
Domestic violence works. You got a no contact order, which means you cannot go to that residence where your son lives.
Right.
So what did you?
That's what I'm saying. It's not that I can't live there anymore.
Yes, it means you can't live there anymore. Okay. So you stayed at your mom's.
It means you have no contact there.
And how did you get your stuff?
I didn't get my stuff because I was still living there. I just had no contact with my son, sir. That was my home. I was living at my mom's until it was situated. It got dismissed. I got off probation. I was allowed to go back. And when I went back, but before that, I already tried to press charges. That's what I'm trying to get at you, is that the Allegan County Sheriff they are appropriately examining and reviewing the public records again, because I have gotten in touch with, because there should have been home invasion and destruction of property, is what I'm trying to say. So on Dave and Mary, because they went in my house illegally 2 different times, on June 10th and on May 8th, and put all my belongings outside when I was not being evicted, sir.
Where was your son?
He was there.
My son just moved out. So I had my cousin Ange move in there, and then he started making sexual comments on text message to her about playing with his
ma'am,
thing.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you. Okay. You have an order where you were evicted, right?
No. And about that eviction notice, sir, I just went and appealed that eviction under my legal name. My legal name is Angela Rodriguez, not Angelica.
Okay.
And I've been telling her that, so it's not even in my name.
All right. Listen to me. I can't get a straight answer out of anybody. All right. So you're living there with your adult son. Your adult son gets a order from court that you can't stay there, and your landlord evicts you. And somewhere in between that time, your possessions go somewhere out of the house. Where did they go?
Yes, it went out of the house before she evicted. Sir, my dad watched it happen. I have a witness. There was other people that came up and stole all my stuff. I'm talking about my furniture, everything that everything that I own was in that house. He put out.
Where was your son?
My son.
He still lived at the house.
No, he didn't. He moved out, and that's why I had Angie in there, because I didn't want my house to be not vacant where nobody was there, where they could take my stuff, and they did it anyway.
All right, Miss Villarreal, well, first of all, why do you have people living there without a lease?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you with all the talking about.
Why do you have people living there without a lease?
Yes, that was my mistake. From now on, I'm making a lease. But Angela was only supposed to be there with her 2 kids, her youngest kids. Her son.
But do you understand that if before you get a court order for eviction, you move people's stuff out of the house, you're on the hook for that dollar amount. You're on the hook for multiple times that dollar amount.
No, I didn't. I swear to God, I did not do anything.
Mrs. Villarreal, who emptied the house out?
Dave was already there when I got
there.
So you're saying Dave?
Sir, I have.
Angela
Ms. Rodriguez, stop talking for a second. Okay. So, Mr. Varenkamp, who moved the stuff out of the house?
I did, with permission from her.
From who?
Angela Rodriguez.
And why do you say you have permission?
Because it says right here that she wishes that, sorry, I can't go there to help. The stuff inside that I don't want, you can throw away. And prior to that, we talked.
The porch.
She told me, she talked to Mary, that I could move in there.
This is where common sense comes into play. If someone doesn't own the property and isn't the landlord, why would they have the authority to hand over a lease? That's not how rental agreements work. A lot of this confusion could have been avoided by figuring out who actually had the legal authority to make decisions.
On the 3rd.
Well, I agree that she may have said that, but that's neither here nor there. What I need to find out is, where did her stuff go and who did that?
I put it in bags, did not destroy nothing, and I set it outside.
Outside on the curb, outside of the yard, outside on the porch?
Out on the yard, on the property, right by the trailer.
What kind of stuff?
Blankets, hoodies, old dishes.
All right.
Old dishes.
And then what happened to it?
Shoes. Furniture.
The one Angela that was there, her cousin or whatever the relationship is, she was going to be a roommate. She did.
All right. So let's stop right there. Miss Rodriguez, who is he talking about? Who's the other Angela?
Her name is Angela Merritt. She lived there with me. Well, she was staying there for a couple of days because I wasn't allowed to be there, and I didn't want my stuff to do like this is what's going on. Okay. My dad called me and he was putting my stuff out at the same day.
So these bags that you filled up, they went into Angela Merritt's car?
That's what Angela Merritt told me.
All right, so you weren't there?
They never went into the car. They're outside.
Ms. Rodriguez, you wouldn't know that either, so just stop talking. All right, Mr. Varenkamp. So you bag up stuff, you put it on the porch, and then you don't know what happened to it? You just heard about what happened to it?
Right, because Angela was there. I would come there, you know.
Which Angela?
Merritt.
So Angela Merritt, who was staying there at the time, knew about all this stuff that you put on the porch?
She was not staying there at the time. She came there.
Okay, but she was standing there with all this stuff on the porch?
She came there after I was in there packing things up.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because Miss Rodriguez asked me, so she can live there. She'd be my roommate.
Miss Merritt?
Yes.
All right. So then here's what I'm saying is here's where I need to get to. All right. So I have this friend named Angela Merritt who is also at the house. You've bagged up stuff. You've put it on the porch. You weren't there when someone took it off the porch, but you heard later what happened
And
with it.
Mrs. Merritt was there. And
Okay.
Mrs. Merritt told me herself that she brought it to Angela.
Okay. And when was
That's
that?
a lie.
No, it's not.
That's a lie, sir. I have
That's right.
pictures
All right.
of my everything outside on my lawn.
All right, but here's the problem, Miss Rodriguez. You don't know what happened either. You weren't there either. So now what I have is a witness who's telling me
No,
they
my
were
dad
literally
was.
there and literally told by your friend that that's where your stuff went. And Miss
No.
Villarreal says she doesn't know what's
Didn't
going
come
on.
there until
Essentially, all
after
this
the
is
fact.
happening. What's that? What's that, ma'am? Miss
Miss Rodriguez knew I
Angela
was
didn't
there.
come over. She didn't start staying there until after the fact.
No, she was
Okay,
there.
but Mr.
She had her belongings there.
Mr. Varenkamp, who doesn't know who this person is, just described the person who you know as Angela Merritt being at the house when those bags were on the porch and saying she was bringing them to you. Or I'm sorry,
Right,
Mr.
Mrs. Merritt's
Varenkamp, that she was
belongings were
going to
there
bring
too.
them to Angela
No,
Rodriguez,
sir.
or that she did bring them to Angela Rodriguez.
My
Mr.
dad is the
Varenkamp.
one that called me, telling me Dave was the
Miss
one there
Rodriguez,
bringing my
Miss
stuff out
Rodriguez,
in the grass.
part of the reason we're
He
having a
even-
problem here is you don't have your camera on and you can't see what I'm doing. I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking to Mr. Varenkamp. All right, Mr. Varenkamp, we're getting real close here. Angela Merritt told you, I'm going to take these things to Angela Rodriguez, and they were still there. Or the things weren't there, and Angela Merritt told you, I did take them to Angela Rodriguez.
Yeah, I showed up the next day. Most of the bags were gone. Mrs. Merritt told me that she was bringing her Angela her stuff.
Okay, and I saw that in the text messages. That's the, sorry, I can't help it, when you bagged them up and put them there. All right, so
Right.
Miss Rodriguez, here's the problem, is as far as I can follow what I actually have as firsthand witnesses testifying, your stuff was put out, but was picked up by a friend of yours.
No, sir. I'm telling you, I have pictures and I put them in with the cops already too. Everything is outside. This man is lying. I promise you, my stuff's still
I
outside.
have photographs too.
Well, sir, if
I have
the stuff is still
photographs,
there, well, ma'am, after July 30th, it's not your stuff anymore because you got evicted. If you didn't pick it up by then, the landlord
Yeah,
gets to do whatever they want with it. They can burn it, they can give it away, they can do whatever they want.
I'm sorry, sir. No, they cannot, because I go back to court September 5th for that same place. So I don't know where you're getting at telling them that. I have court date with the same matter, September 5th. So how are you going to tell them that that stuff is in that house is there still when I have to go to court still September 5th for the same matter?
Ma'am, they have a
Because I appealed
judgment.
it.
Oh, well, if you have to go back
I
for appeal,
appealed
that's
that
fine.
because it's not in my
But
name.
there is no provable claim here of loss of money that's either of these two people's fault. Mr.
What you mean? I
Varenkamp is
have
doing
proof of
what
all
you
of it.
requested him to do, and Miss Villarreal doesn't even know it was happening.
What did I request him to do, sir? Can you tell me?
Yes. Get rid of anything you didn't want.
Please tell
So he
me.
bagged it up, he put it on the porch,
That's-
and then your friend said, I'm gonna take it to her. That's all the more
No, sir.
responsibility he has, ma'am. He doesn't have any more responsibility than that. He was replacing
Did you read
as,
about-
as a sublease. For
Have
a
you read
lease you
about
don't
that,
even
sir?
have.
It was for a leak in a house, in my porch,
Yeah.
the stuff in my
Ma'am,
porch.
here's
Seriously?
my ruling, ma'am,
Yeah,
especially because
that's cool,
you already
thank you.
used the language of home invasion and malicious destruction of property.
Oh,
Those crimes
most
you cannot
definitely.
sue for. You have to do the criminal
oh,
route. I
That's what I
let you
tried to
make
tell
an
you.
argument to see if there was any sort of civil liability here, but I do not find any civil liability from either of these two parties.
That's
My
why
judgment would be to dismiss without prejudice. Thank you. I'm going to release parties.
thank you. I will make sure I go and appeal that. Thank you.
You can file appeals, make arguments, and tell your side of the story, but sometimes the outcome comes down to simple responsibility. If important property went missing because basic steps weren't taken to protect it, the court can only do so much. Now we move on to the next hearing, and thankfully we finally get to put a face to some of the courtroom chaos we've been hearing about.
And Ms. Logston, if you could go ahead and take yourself off mute. Ms. Rodriguez, take yourself off mute. All right. Sorry about that, ladies. I did have one going right before you guys. So we are here on this file 2401690 SC. It's Rodriguez versus Logston. We're here as a small claims case. What I mean by a small claims case is this. We're here trying to do this without any attorneys. Parties are here today without attorneys. We're also not asking for this to be decided by a jury trial, but for this to be decided right here now in front of me. So if the parties are ready and willing to proceed without attorneys and with me as the decider of the outcome, then the first thing I would do if we're ready to proceed is swear you both in. What I mean by that is to raise your right hands. Ms. Rodriguez, I cannot see you, but I'd ask you to raise your right hand the same way that Ms. Logston is going to raise. Oh, there you go. Swear or affirm any testimony you give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I do think, as far as what I can tell looking from the affidavit and claim here, that essentially what we're talking about, I think we touched base on this. Oh no, this is back to a motorcycle. So this is a motorcycle that parties agree, right, belongs to Miss Rodriguez. Miss Logston, you do not think the motorcycle belongs to you, correct?
No, it don't. It don't belong to
All right.
her because they went to court and my son has paid for it.
Yes,
They go
but the
tomorrow.
issue is the title of the bike is in your name, Miss Logston, and not Miss Rodriguez's.
She
Well,
wanted it in my name.
I know, I understand that. Miss Rodriguez, what is it?
I asked for it. Yes, sir. So we went to court back. I got it recorded. I recorded everything just like this is being recorded. I recorded you last week too, telling her she admitted it. That is my bike.
This is one of those moments where recording everything might not work out the way you expected. People often assume that having a recording automatically helps their case, but if the recording captures statements that create even more legal questions, it can end up doing the exact opposite.
We went to court with Scotchless. I took it to pre-trial. It's not about the collateral stuff. I borrowed my brother money.
Okay,
I
Miss
borrowed
Rodriguez?
$5,300. Yes, sir.
Miss Rodriguez, this is not about that lawsuit, all right? I understand what
Right.
happened in that lawsuit. What this lawsuit is
Right.
about, I'm trying to clarify, is this is your
And I'm trying to
motorcycle,
clarify-
but the title is
Yes,
in your
sir.
mother's name. All right.
Yes, for Social Security purposes, I asked her and I asked her to sign off it, but she won't.
Miss
She's saying
Rodriguez,
it's my brother.
please stop talking. All right. So it's your motorcycle, and you were able to go get the motorcycle, correct, Miss Logston? You're not
Yes, sir.
preventing her from taking the motorcycle. All right. Then there is no damages here. There is no out-of-pocket expense that I could possibly pursue in small claims. It's your bike. She's not preventing you
Thank
from
you.
having or using your bike.
Okay, thank you. She sign off of it, please, and give me the title then, sir. Because
can't
she's
make
trying to
her
get
do
me in
that.
trouble. But it is
Now,
my bike
are
and
you
I
guys
can ride.
also in landlord-tenant court?
Yeah. I don't know
Ms.
why for,
Logston,
but
are
yeah.
you in landlord-tenant court where you're trying to evict Miss Rodriguez?
Yes.
All right. Now, in landlord-tenant court, part of that eviction process is what happens to Miss Rodriguez's possessions. If you were to bring this up in front of the district court judge in landlord-tenant court, a district court judge can make Miss Logston do what's called specific performance, i.e. sign the title over to her. I can't make her do that. I can award you a money damages for out-of-pocket expenses, but you do not have any out-of-pocket damages here. We're all in agreement it's your motorcycle. You're able to take it, use it, ride it around. What you need is a very specific thing. You need her to sign the title back over to you. But that is specific performance. Yep. You would need to be in general civil or in landlord-tenant to have a district court judge order her to do that. I can't order her to do that. Does that make sense to both of you? Okay. So what I'm saying is there is a solution to your current problem. One solution is, Miss Logston, you could just sign it over and you would be done with these lawsuits. Or two, you could bring it up as part of your landlord-tenant case as a possession of Miss Rodriguez's, the tenant, but Miss Logston still has some sort of control over it, i.e. the title, and you could resolve that in front of your landlord-tenant court, or Miss Logston, you could resolve this by signing that title over to her. But we can't proceed with it as a small claims case. It's not the appropriate venue. I just want to make sure that what I just explained makes sense to everybody, right?
Yeah, but they gotta go to court tomorrow over it. The payments and.
It's not
my
over the
son is gonna-
motorcycle.
See, I can't even.
It's not over the motorcycle. It's money. It's what he owes me. It's not over a motorcycle though, Janie.
And that is
I've been
between
telling
Miss
you.
Rodriguez and her brother. That's not what she needs
Right.
from you. What she needs from you is
How?
something different. All right? But I am going to go ahead and release parties. We don't need to be here for small claims on this particular
Thank you.
matter. That doesn't mean the matter is resolved. It just means, as I'm
Okay,
trying
will
to
be.
explain to you guys, there are other more appropriate avenues for you guys to resolve this, right?
Yeah, there is.
All right. And I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gonna release us. And she said, thank you, sir. I'm not signing that title to her.
Personally, if I were transferring ownership of property in a situation this messy, I'd want everything completed immediately and officially. Meet at the office, sign the documents, file the paperwork, and walk away knowing there's no confusion later. Situations like this are exactly why people insist on handling transfers face-to-face. And that's where we'll leave today's courtroom drama. This family dispute doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon, so I'll definitely be keeping an eye on future developments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more courtroom chaos, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.